that is in my profile. I have a ton of artist support for you. I have hundreds of videos here on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I run the Facebook group Safe Space for Artists. You're all welcome to post your art there. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Threads. I'm on everything. I'm a full-time career artist. I've been doing this for decades, and I'm very transparent and candid about the journey, the ups and the downs. And that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit today. Before I do, as you tune in, let me know where you're from. And if you have any questions about anything art related, send in your questions. This is an opportunity, anytime I do the live feeds, for you to ask me anything and everything absolutely free. I do artist coaching, and I am a teacher, and those are paid services. But when I do the live feeds, you can get the same service, the same guidance, absolutely free. Oftentimes, nobody wants to ask anything, but take advantage of that. I mean, if I could give my younger self advice, it would be, if you have an opportunity to ask somebody questions that has done the thing you want to do, ask them. I mean, milk that for all that it's worth. But the topic I wanted to cover today, as we wait for people to tune in, is just, I want to talk about some of the struggles of being an artist in 2026. With everything going on in the world, it can be very overwhelming. And over the past couple years, I've noticed a dramatic drop in sales and even in engagement on social media. And could that be because maybe my work isn't as good as it once was? That's a possibility, and it's a question I've had to ask myself. But I really don't feel that is the case. I feel like there's an oversaturation of the market. I feel like a lot of these platforms have sort of brought people in, kind of like a drug, got us hooked, and then pulled back on what they gave us. I know that on Instagram in particular, I really struggle, whereas that used to be a great platform for me. I feel like Facebook is still working out pretty well for me. I'm growing slowly on TikTok, and I've always struggled here on YouTube, even though I feel like YouTube should probably be my platform, I would think. Granted, I don't have the most polished content, and I never will. And that's just who I am. And it's what I'm kind of getting back to and focusing on, is just being my true, authentic self and not trying to be like others. I'm not chasing the success. I'm not looking to have super pretty videos. I just want to be raw and candid and have real conversations. I feel like there's so much pretending and the smoke and mirrors on social media, and I'd rather be honest and authentic with people and share the realities of being an artist. So yeah, I've had some big successes as an artist. I've sold over $1 million in art. I've done well over 100 exhibitions. I have my art in the collections of celebrities, businesses, and collectors all over the world. But I have struggles like anybody else. In fact, one thing that I shared yesterday on social media was that I haven't sold any art today, yesterday, or even the past couple weeks. And I'm a career artist. This is what I do for a living. And the reason I share that is not like, oh, poor me, nobody's buying anything, but to maybe provide a little bit of comfort to those of you out there that are struggling, and to set a more reasonable expectation than the unrealistic expectations that are on social media. I mean, I'm guilty of that too, of being overwhelmed and overstimulated by social media. And you see stuff and it's like, God, everybody on here seems to be so successful, and whatever I do is just never going to be enough. And so I want to tell you right now that you are enough, that your art is enough, that whatever the reason is that you make your art, this is your journey. Don't compare your journey to somebody else's. Don't even compare your journey to mine. I'm not here to try to convince people of my way or the way. I just want to help people find a way, and ultimately your way. So that's why I share the things that I do. It's why sometimes my content is a little nonsensical, or sometimes I tell a joke and then I talk about mental health, because you know what? I'm just a guy that makes art and wants to be honest about it and transparent and encourage some people along the way, because I feel like for most of my career, I didn't have a lot of support. And sometimes when I have successes, people will come around and they want to be a part of that success. But I've time and time again seen people disappear as soon as that success or the spotlight wanes. And it's reminded me that I really have to be my biggest cheerleader and I have to be in my own corner and I have to remind myself of why I do what I do. So, one of the other things that I talked about was that it seems like a lot of artists are entering the creative realm with the desire to make money or to be famous, to be influencers, to get big engagement. And I'm not going to say that there's anything wrong with that, but I do want to ask, is that your primary reason for making your art? Is it because you want to make money? Is it because you want to be famous? For me, I started making art because I needed a place to put the things that I needed to pull out of me. And for those that don't know, I call my process acrylic alchemy, and it's about transmuting pain to purpose, creating light from your darkness. And the idea is that in doing so, you can take away the power that they hold over you. So I have a higher purpose, a higher calling with my art, although I do it for a living, so I got to pay attention to numbers at least a little bit. But lately, I've been shifting my focus back to the artwork, putting the art first and foremost, because I'm as guilty as anybody. I got a little bit lost myself in the rat race and in all the games of 2026. And I'm really pivoting back to putting the art first. And then if there's time, I'll do some of the social media and I'll put the stuff out there. But to not be overly concerned about having the prettiest, most polished content or saying all the right things, which is why I love the live feeds, because it's like, hey, if I stumble, I stumble. And I'm an artist with one, I have Tourette's, two, I have a traumatic brain injury. So there's all sorts of crazy, stupid shit that I could say on a live feed. But you know what? I just come on and I do the stuff. And I feel like that's what the world needs more of right now is just more authenticity, more people being real. And that's what we need from art and from the artists is if you want to make commercial art and you want to sell your art, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's your goal, you're on that journey, then that's your journey. And you do get to choose your journey as an artist, and that's the cool thing. But that's not my journey, though I started to get pulled onto that road. And so I'm pivoting back and I'm getting back to my roots and focusing on the art, being true to myself, sharing my story, because I'm a big believer that if you're honest in your storytelling, that there's beauty there, no matter how it looks. So even if you get no engagement, it's not a reflection on your value or the quality of your work. Maybe the algorithm or these platforms are suppressing you. I mean, they very clearly do push certain accounts and certain things over others. And I am blessed in that I do have a pretty decent social following on some of my platforms, but it's not because I always get the engagement. In fact, a lot of times I reach less than 1% of my audience, and that can be overwhelming and a little bit disheartening at times, but every single day I get up and continue to do what I do. And that's really the biggest key to my success. It's not because I'm better than anybody. It's because I just keep going and because I'm relentless because this is what I was put on this earth to do. This is the only thing for me. I did not start pursuing art because I thought it would be an easy road. In fact, I was told, and I knew it was going to be a hard road, that I'd be pushing my ball uphill at times. And I still am after decades of doing it, but I fucking love what I do because this is my passion. This is my purpose. This is my calling. And I get to share that with all of you. And some of you might be doing some stuff that you don't really want to do right now, that maybe your friends or family convinced you to doing because it was the practical road. But you know what? Follow your dreams, and your dreams should not be practical. I mean, that's why they're dreams. Dreams are supposed to seem a little bit ridiculous, but you know what? They're only ridiculous until you prove everybody wrong. And I'm not going to say that I reached the pinnacle of where I'm going to be, but I've managed to prove a lot of people wrong. And most importantly, I've managed to prove myself wrong and show myself that I'm capable of much more than I thought I was. And if I can do that, I know damn sure that you can. So the dream is possible. But if you're in that spot right now where you're like, oh, I'm not getting any engagement or people aren't buying my work, I do want you to ask yourself the question, is that why you're really making the art? Because I do believe that if you get back to just really honing in on doing what you need to do from the heart, from the soul, that you will find your people, that you will find your audience, that the success will follow. But I do believe that if you chase success, it'll always be a stranger. It's like playing the lottery. But if you make the work that you really need to make, you're already succeeding. You're already winning in that case. And so anything on top of that is just icing on the cake. It's just a bonus. And so I'm grateful to be able to share what I love, to do what I love each and every day, even though it is tough at times. It's not easy. There are those long droughts where I don't have the sales. There are the times that I question myself as an artist, question my value, question if my best days are behind me or if I was ever really any good at all. And that's even something that I've been asking myself this past week. But I just keep doing the thing. So if you struggle with confidence, take it from me. I do this for a living and I still struggle with the confidence. So don't let the lack of confidence stop you from doing the thing you want to do. It gets easier. So even though I struggle with the confidence, it's kind of just like, well, F it. Who cares? I'm just going to do the thing. And people can think what they want. And I'm just going to keep going. So if you have a dream, keep going. Don't let anybody get in your way. If your friends and family say, oh, it's not possible, you know what? You may need to distance yourself a little bit from them. And that's okay. But don't give up on your dream. This world needs dreams right now more than ever, I think. And this world needs artists more than ever, too. So if that's where your heart is, if your heart is in the art, then do your thing. Now, I do want to say, do we have any questions or comments before I take off? I don't want to drone on too long. I just want to come on, share some words of encouragement, let people know that I'm still kicking, still going strong. And hopefully, if anybody else is going through some stuff right now, let you know that I believe in you, that you are enough, that your art is enough, and not to get discouraged by the lack of engagement or the numbers or the lack of sales. Those are not the gauge of your value as an artist, as a person. That's just stuff outside of your control. And what you can control is whether you get up today or tomorrow and you make your art. So I don't think we have any questions or comments. You know what? I think we'll leave this one. I feel like we're in a good spot right now. We got some good stuff in there. I'll see you next time, though. Check out all my other videos. You can find me on my Linktree in my profile for much more, including the process video for this piece right here. You can check that out, and I will see you next time.